stream links and all that kind of stuff in the background of things. So, with that being said, I've got to close all this stuff down to save my bandwidth. Yay, all that kind of stuff. All right. Let me go ahead and put all this right here. I know that's fine. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this and turn that off. See, Stream Deck allows you to just push a button and it does all that stuff. But they're like $100, and well, I'm poor and broke and all that stuff. All right, so before we get into modding anything right off the bat, what we're going to do is we're going to go into our saved game of Imperium Galactic Survival, and we're going to look at some actual assets in the game and get some ideals and try to brushing up some stuff. Now, that's what we're going to do on today's stream. Now, tomorrow's stream, we are actually going to be learning how to find the actual starting playfields. For example, when you go to start, say for example survival, that's actually the default survival single player thing right there. Well, you got this starting field, you've got this starting field, this starting field, this starting field, this starting field, this starting field. We're going to be learning how to manipulate our starting fields in the planet's starting playfield YAML files, .yaml, I think it's .yaml. And if you've been following along and you have not moved over to Notepad++, when we start that that section of this tutorial, I strongly recommend that you get off of regular Windows Notepad and go download Notepad++, because the YAML files, they're not like regular text files. They are very sensitive with spacing and so forth and stuff like that. And if you're using Notepad+, or if you're using regular Windows Notepad, you're going to mess it up. It's just not a, you're going to mess it up. It's just that simple. I'm not trying to be mean or ugly or nothing like that. I'm just telling you the facts of the situation, and Notepad++ keeps the spacing correct within YAML files, okay? Now, you can absolutely go and download the Visual Studio program, spend $1,400, or you can just take Chief's advice and get yourself a free copy of Notepad++, which allows you to mod and edit files that are created in the Visual Studio program. So, with that being said, we are going to Skillion and Contact Point Alpha is my favorite, but we're actually going to go back to our loading game that we have, which is right here. That's the one. This is from our mod that we've been working on, but we're going to move everything over to our new mod, which is the default random experimental. That's what EXP stands for those of y'all that are just tuning in. We're going to go ahead and load that up. Okay, now we started on Skillion in this test version and stuff like that. So when we get in game, we're going to go ahead and use our console controls to do some things, because we're going to look at a lot of in-game assets and stuff like that. All right, so in order to pull up your console command, the tilde key, which is the little squiggly line to the left of your number 1 key at the top part of your keyboard, not over on the right-hand side on your numpad, but to the left of your number 1 key. Then we're going to type in God mode, which is GM. Then we're going to type in item menu, which is IM. All right, and then we're going to hit the escape key. Okay, and then when we hit our H key, we can absolutely go into our item menus. Okay, this is everything in the game that you can build. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build us a platform out of steel blocks and get that uh, going so we can put stuff on it. All right, let's see. Let's go over here. Okay, and we're going to hold left control, and then left click, and then we're going to drag this out like so. Okay, this is how you would play multiple things down. It's just like this while still holding the control. Okay, in case you was wondering how to do that. Whoa, wrong button, Chief. I hit the W button. Alright, holding left control, left click, and just dragging it again. That's why we put ourselves in God mode, because it's easier to build like that. And like I said, we're just doing this because we're not playing the game. We're modding the game. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit our H key, left shift, left click, and it throws all that over there. So I'm going to go ahead and move all this stuff out of my toolbar down here because I don't need it. And if I do need it, then I can absolutely come back to it and all that. Well, actually, I'll keep the little pistol because you never know. Okay, let's see. Survival tool detector. Okay, whatever. All right, so we have our little, just in case things get crazy, tool. All right, now let's look in here. What we're going to do is we're going to look at base deco. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at the passenger seats, the O2 station, the offline protection, the protection tank. Let's see here. The furnace, the trading console, the ATM. We're looking, and we're going to look at these things individually, and we're going to get, hey, there's a portal. Cool. Oh, okay. It's that. So let's just hide in here for right now while we're looking through our menu. Okay, let's go back through here. Let's see. Land claim device. We'll look at that. Okay. We'll throw one of these down. So if we right click, there's no other options but this. Okay. So we're just going to throw that down right there. Then we're going to throw that down. Okay. We're going to wig out for a second. We're going to throw that down. We're going to throw that down. We're just going to place all these down so we can actually get a better look at all these things and see what we want to do with them, if we want to change them around and use the models for something else. All right, let's do that. We already got that. Repair console, capacitor. We already know what that looks like. Medical devices. That's a good one. Let's see. Street lights. Gravitational. Entity spawner device. Let's see here. What are these? These are portal rings. Okay. Portal ring without frame only collides with one bubble. Okay. Okay. Tech portal. For instance, or as fixed teleport connection for fixed teleport connection, the complete syntax must be used. Device name at structure name. Okay, well, we'll come back to that. Let's grab one of them guys. All right, so that's all we can grab right now. We'll come back to that other stuff. Okay. We're going to throw that here. Now, do we have... Yes, we do. We have other options for this. Okay. Oh. Let's see. We want to get one of those. And like I said, we're throwing this down so that we can look at it and look at the models, because we might use these to do other things. like set it up for like a drone spawner or something like that. You know, you don't know, and this is how you go about doing it. Because we might find something that, hey, you know, we'll look at that, and then we'll get the name of it right here, console ESD, and it always names it from left to right. And then imagine bringing this whole line right up here to behind that. That's how it's going to read in the console files. Okay? The config files. Okay? Like that right there would be pretty good for like a constructor, like a small constructor, a large constructor, you know, things like that. You know, kind of change things up a little bit. That's why we're doing this, to see, you know, I don't know, give it some pizzazz, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Like that right there could be a console for like a command chair for the capital vessel or something like that, you know. Because all these are what the game calls prefabs, which is basically model, a 3D model. You have two different style of prefabs. You have the prefabs such as your blueprints, and then you have the prefabs that the game calls the 3D models. Okay, so that's the only one of those. All right, that is the new thing in the update right there. That's what that is, actually, that right there. Okay, so you know, you could set that model up for like a constructor with like a thing that says, hey, you know, order supplies, like, you know, when you go into a constructor and you build stuff. Well, you can just set all that stuff up to kind of give the illusion of that your model. Let's see what kind of lights we have. All right, so that's a double light. Okay. That is a smaller light. Okay. That is a tall light. That is a smaller light. I bet this is going to be basically the same thing. Let's change that direction a little bit. And then that's going to be a baby one of those. Okay. Okay. And then you got these little lights right here. And I think that's going to be enough. We kind of get the idea. Well, hold on. Let's look at this real quick. Is that like a... Nope. I was thinking it was going to show like a wire or something. Nope, it don't. All right, so that's enough lights for right now. We don't need that. All right, let's look at our medical equipment now. We got this lovely guy right here. It's standard, heals everything. We got this little guy right here. We got this little guy right here. Oh, he's so cute. He's a little miniature version of this. Then we got a bed. Then we got that, and that ends our medical equipment. All right. So yeah, basically this is almost the same model as this without this cylinder right here, and it's a little bit smaller. And then you have this little guy right here on the back of it. So, you know, basically it's the same thing, just add a little bit more to it. And then you have the bed that's attached to that very same model, as well as this right here. Okay, so I'm digging, I'm tracking. All right, so that's our medical equipment. What is this? This right here is a repair console. Okay. Did I just throw that on the ground? I did. I just threw it on the ground. What the heck, Chief? Am I Wi-Fi'd in this? I sure am. Okay. So let's throw this repair console down. As soon as I find what I done with it. There we go. Alright, let's throw that down. So we can use this as like a map type deal where we can actually ping like a detector, like a CV's detector. And we can actually use we but it doesn't have it on this one. All right, so let's look at our human guys right here. So we're going to throw this guy down. These two guys. Those two guys. This little handsome fella down right there. This one right here. Now, this is the one that I used in the other mod that we've been working on for the drone defense. This is the commanding officer, tactical officer, is who I used for the drone defense on, well, you saw it in the last episode 8 and 9, and then episode 9 continued, is what we used for our drone defense things right there. Okay, where are we at? We're at the female commanding officer. Okay, and like this is actually the model I was looking at. You could put a detector on the base or whatever, or on a capital ship, and you can use this as your detector model, your 3D model for your detector, and you can place it on the bridge, and gives you some more realism without having the little dome detector or whatever, or it's, this is, we're Bob Rossing this. Okay. So that's what we're doing. Actually, we can go ahead and go down here. It don't matter. Okay. And then this little guy right here, he's our pilot. He's absolutely going ham on it. All right. She is doing something. He's going to dance for us. She's going to dance for us. She's going to dance for us, and I'm almost certain that blonde and that blonde over there is pretty much the same model. Yeah, and he's just going to stand there just doing him. All right, so there's those. Okay. All right, let's go to our alien crew now. Let's go ahead and drop him down. And the reason we're doing all this is because we're going to look at all these models and try to develop some type of game plan, strategy. Do we want to take some ideals from all this to incorporate it into our mod? Do we want to change some things around in our mod? And that's the whole reason why we're doing this, is to just kind of look at the models that are available in game, find them in the config files, and do the process of what I showed you in the last couple of episodes of changing models around, like we did with the firearm, like we did with the detector tool, and stuff like that. Makes sense? Yeah, it makes perfectly good sense. All right, let's see here. And then this little guy, and then that. All right, perfect. He'll probably stand there. All right, now let's go ahead and pull in some more stuff. Now that we've got all those down, let's go ahead and double check. Let's look at that shield extender too. Let's throw that out there. And then the metal box, like I'm a crazy box or something. I don't even know what this metal box is even for. Yeah, I don't know what that's for. All right, so what is this? This here, have a seat. Okay, so what is this metal box? I mean, what does it do? Is it just like, let's go in and see if it gives us a description. All right, if you need some time out, reduce temperature. So I guess that's like a, if you get too hot, you can build that box and go sit in that box. Okay, well, that's the whole reason why you have this guy right here that we haven't unlocked yet, is for that very reason. All right, let's continue back on with our deco. So we've got all these that we're interested in looking at. So let's go over here to our deco. Let's grab that, and that, and that. Okay, and let's just see what kind of options. What do we have with this? Is it just, all right, so we have just one option for that. Okay, now we have several antenna decos right here, so we're going to try to fit them all close together. Okay, to give you an idea, and you can absolutely use, for example, you can use this guy right here as a radar dome for your capital ship, for the detector on your capital ship. I've actually done it off camera. So, and that's the beauty about this. We can look at these models and get some ideals and try to explore our mod creativity even further. And guys, this is what modding is all about, is creativity, ideals, patience, and making it all come together. Okay, like I could take this little guy right here, and I can take that to give you an example, this guy right here, and I can make that a portable miner. If I wanted to, I could make that the portable miner, which I may very well do that, or I may use this model as a portable miner, or I may very well use this guy right here as a portable miner with a radar dish, you know, but we will have that ability to do so here in just a few minutes. All right, so there's a bed. Let's see. And we can absolutely change these models right here to like if we wanted to change out our medical equipment, we absolutely could go through here and change out those models if we wanted to change our medical equipment. Oh, that's interesting. That works. If I'm to be honest, guys, I haven't really sat and just went through the whole model deco and all that stuff. If I'm to be honest, I just haven't never really did, because I really didn't put much stock into all of that. So a few different versions of the sinks. Okay. Of course, here's your toilet. Yay. Here's another toilet with a shower. All right, let's go ahead and we ran out of room here, so let's go ahead and grab us some more blocks. Okay, so we no longer need those. We've already put that down. Okay. Wrong button, Chief. Easy. Okay. All right, let's see. Back to our deco. So we're at the showers. Okay, there's that. That. And that is a door or something. Okay. So now we can get rid of these. Hold left shift and left click, and it'll get rid of those. All right, what is this? What does this offer? This offers just all kinds of good stuff. Okay. I like these models. They really offer us some really good content right here. Okay. like this little console right here, we absolutely can use this console on our SVs for our drone, our SV drones, which we'll get into that in a later episode on that. Because remember, whenever things go, if you remember that one episode where I had the little miniature, the commanding officer, or we can use that right there, you know, on our SV for a drone command, or that, you know, we could use either one of these because they'll shrink down. Remember, they get miniature in scale. Yeah, you remember. So we could actually use that, or that for our drone command on our SVs. Okay. Or that, you know. We can add these lovely little models right here. We can add those to our refrigerator options, to where, you know, it's a large box, box 2, medium box. We absolutely can add those to our fridge options for our medical and stuff. So, you know, keep that in mind. Even these right here, we can use these like little coolers, such as your ice cream coolers and stuff like that you see in the grocery store, you know. That could be what these could be done as also, you know. So yeah, we absolutely can use this and this to get these. Absolutely, we can use to give us different type of freezer models and stuff like that. How cool is that? You know. And then this guy right here, I like that little deco right there. I'm not sure exactly what it is. And then if you've played Reforged Eden, then you know that Revion's taken this deco right here and has added substance to it, to where it's some type of functional piece in the game. I forget what it is off the top of my head, but yep. And which is really, really cool. There we go. We'll sort that antenna business out. And that's what we're doing, is we're going through all the models that we can place down, and seeing what we have to work with, and seeing if, hey, do we want to add some substance to those models and use those models in other areas, you know, to, not sure what happened there, but okay. Could we use this for like a headlight model? Don't know, you know, don't know, but that would be kind of cool if we could use that as a headlight model, and it would come on bright headlights and stuff like that. You know, that would be kind of cool if I'm to be honest. We could use this model right here as like a ventilation block, you know, like an air conditioner type deal. Because if you've ever lived in an RV or a caravan, which they're one and the same, then you know that model right there is that's what they look like on the top. That, I think, is actually a light, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, that's a light. Those are lights, so we could absolutely use those as lights in our base for our different light options. So I think this is going to be all of the decos. Let's go ahead and turn our lights on. I don't think we have fuel in the base, no. So let's go into our item menu and type in some fuel, and let's load our base up. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get a bunch of fuel tanks. Let's go ahead and get a bunch of fuel. What we're going to do is we're going to go under the base in God mode. Okay, and we're going to put fuel tanks in, because like I said, now we've turned this playthrough, we've turned it into a testing ground. Okay, and we're going to need some fuel for our base. Come on. Okay. Yep, we're going to have a bunch of fuel. Ha ha ha. Okay. Now we're going to go over here to this bad boy. We're going to select it. And we're going to dump some fuel in this thing. Perfect. Now we're going to go in here and we're going to get a generator. If we can spell generator. There we go. Problem solved. Okay, now we're going to look at the CPU. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and throw some CPU in here also. That way, you know, we somewhat stay. See. You will not be able to spawn your structure in. I don't even know if we can put that bad boy in. So, alright, let's see. Can you put that in? Nope. Alright, but we can absolutely throw some CPU in here. Maybe. There. Nope, up. Come on. There you go. Alright. Alright, that should bring our CPU up to maximum. Yep, okay, beautiful. So now we got plenty of CPU to work with. We got plenty of fuel. Okay. Oh, yeah. Alright, so we should be good to go now. So let's go ahead and get all that stuff out of our inventory. We'll keep the blocks in case we have to use them again. Alright, let's go back to our decos. Alright, let's grab these. I think we've done the gen console. Hologram station, cryopod talon. Alright, howler part. Those are your little, yeah, those things. Alright, and I think that's going to be pretty much it. Excuse me. I'm going to look at these guys, and I'm also going to see, which I was discussing with Storm Falls earlier. And if those of y'all that don't know who Storm Falls is, he's a local content creator who has his own series of Imperium Galactic Survival. He's doing a fresh playthrough of the new update that just dropped, the 1.15 update. So he's doing that. Go over to his channel, check him out, tell him that Chief sent you, give him a thumbs up. He's a young, just starting out content creator, so definitely go over there, have some fun, and whatnot have you. All right, let's see. All right, let's go back to our little decos. So this is the Talon stuff, which I haven't yet, but I had made a promise that I was going to do a Talon campfire to where you could cook meat on it, and I'm having, well, actually I hadn't spent much time on it, but what I had set in thought in my thought process is that how is that going to work? Well, it's the whole thing has to be Well, kind of like the portable constructor. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take a portable constructor. I'm going to have to set it up like a food processor with its own storage. Okay, I put that one down right there. Okay, beautiful. And then I'm going to have to figure out how to set to where the food won't spoil. Actually, it don't matter if it spoils or not if it's in the fire, because there is a such thing as leaving it in the fire too long. Okay, yeah. And it will absolutely spoil. So, but being this is made, you can cook things in the portable constructor. I just don't remember what all you can cook in the portable constructor off the top of my head. I'll have to run over there and look at it. We've got one sitting over there. But the thing is I don't want. Oh, there's a torch. Heck yeah, we can put a torch up, guys. Heck yeah, let's torch it. There we go. We got some light in here now. There we go. All right. But yeah, this little guy right here, this is a fire pot that I am talking about making into a portable constructor to where you can put stuff in it. Okay. So there's that. All right, now let's see what we got in here. That is just going to be one thing right there. Okay. Do we have anything right here? Nope, that's just going to be one thing right there. What do we got in here? Do we have any options on that? No. So that's just going to be those. Well, it's got a person in there. Yeah, that ain't freaky at all. All right, so there is all of our decos. Okay, right there. All right, let's run over here and look at this. What do I do with the portable constructor? Yep, here it is. All right, what can it make real quick? Okay, it can make meat. It can make steak. It can make things. So what we can do is we can copy this. Okay, we can make another one, and then we can copy it to where obviously it's a campfire, so you're only going to be able to that'll work. What we can do is we can take the survival constructor and we can change that to where you can't cook all this stuff in the survival constructor, but in our new one you absolutely are going to be able to cook that food in there. Yeah, that would work. That would be the only way that would work. And so if you wanted to cook something, you would have to build a campfire. Make sense? Makes perfect sense, don't it? Absolutely. So let's look at this. Was this deco right here? Let's look at that, and then let's right click, and that would be the fire pit. Okay. So let's do some things. So now that we got an idea, let's go ahead and get out of a game. Let's get to work and let's make us a campfire, guys, in today's episode. What do you think? So what we're going to do is we're going to Control F, and we're going to find, and we're going to look for a fire pit. Okay. And then we're going to find in all current open documents right here. Okay. And then that's going to find that. And then if you look over here, that's got the blocks config for the live stream mod. Well, we're not working in the live stream mod because we're going to move it all over. But if you look right here, here's our default random XP mod right here. That's the one that we're going to look for right there, guys. All right. And now, if you look, remember when you in game just a minute ago when we selected the Talon icons and stuff like that, if you looked, when you right clicked, it had all these models. Remember what I said? They go from left to right, take the bottom line and move it to the end of the right side of the top row, and that's how that's labeled in here. And if you look right here, we have the tribal fire pit. Okay. Now we also have the block for it. The block, we're looking for this line right here. Okay. This is the line that we're looking for, the models. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this line right here. Okay. We're going to copy that. And then we're going to go over here to our notes, the little notepad over here, and we're going to copy this over here, okay? Now, what we're going to do now is, let me go ahead and maximize this. Let me zoom out a little bit. We're going to kind of move this over here. We'll come back to that later. We're going to find our portable constructor. Okay. Nope, we cannot find that there. All right. Let's go backwards. There we go. That's the mobile air conditioner. But we're looking for that. That's the oxygen generator that you build in your suit. But right here, constructor survival. That is the portable constructor right here. Okay. Now I'm going to have to zoom out just a little bit so I can select. We're going to grab this. Okay, to right there to the closed bracket. We're going to copy that. Okay, then we're going to go all the way down here to the end of the file. Okay, we're going to back up a little bit. We're going to go to the beginning of all of this. What we're looking for is we're looking for the block name. We're going to go all the way up till just below the one that gives us a number. Because it'll have block ID. We're going to go below that. And it's somewhere around here. We just got to find it. Ooh, UCH minigun flag. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll come back to that later on. Let's continue finding. We're like I said, we're going to go below the block ID number. That's the one that we want to do right there. Okay, and we're going to put in our fire pit. Remember, I had made mention of that in earlier streams. That way, you have to put the food in the fire pit in order to cook it versus putting it in your portable constructor. So now you'll need both your portable constructor and soon to be fire pit. Okay? And that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to bring that in the game. Yeah, I think that's going to be fun. So now you have to cook all your food items that you can cook in your portable constructor. You absolutely can cook those in your fire pit. Just got to. All right. See, here's where the blocks right here. This is where we want to go right here. We're going to go right here. We're going to comment this out. And then we're going our modded stuffs. Okay. And we'll comment that all the way over there. Okay. Then we're going to put in another one of these lines. Okay, so it's very distinctive when we go searching. Then we're going to enter. We're going to put in two more of these lines, just like so. Enter. And then we're going to put in another one, just like so. End of our modded stuffs. Okay? That way when we come back down here later. All right, so now between these two lines right here, we're going to hit enter, hit enter, hit enter, and then we're going to paste in our portable constructor that we just brought down. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to do two things. We're going to control copy that. Okay, then we're going to control F. We're going to find that constructor survival in all of our open documents. Okay. All right. Now that that's done, we're going to rename this in lieu of this right here. Okay. And you remember how I showed you how to do that before? You know, just copy that in there. Bam. All right. So now we're going to change this to survival camp. I can't spell camp. Camp fire. Just like that. Okay. Now, let's see. Survival constructor, block ID, portable constructor, survival constructor. All right, that is in our new thing. So let's go ahead and go to right here where it says live stream mod. We don't need that. Okay, because we're not in that section. Live stream mod, we don't need that. So what we're doing is I'm hitting this little arrow over here. This little checkbox right here, I'm hitting this guy right here, and this was collapsed it. Right there. Same thing in this one right here. All right. Same thing in this one right here, because what that done is that found all of the files, which as soon as I figure out my Notepad++ for you real quick, get my life sorted out. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and kind of move that up a little bit. So this here's the live stream mod. We can go ahead and close that one out. Survival workshop content. Apparently I have that pulled up over here in this side right here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close that bracket too, because the only thing that we're interested in is the files right here, a default random XP mod. That's the only ones that we're concerned about right here. So there's the block right there. There's that. Let's see. Names, constructor version 2. We don't care about all that. What we're mainly interested in is the templates file. which we're going to run over here real quick. We're going to double click on that. Okay. And then we're going to grab those right there. We're going to copy. We're going to go right up under here. We're going to add this, our campfire. Okay. And then we're going to add this right here. Okay, then we're going to go back up here and we're going to hit enter, and then we're going to paste that in right there. Then we're going to go back over here to our block config, and we're going to grab this. We're going to go over here back to our templates right there, and we're going to put that. Notice there's no spaces in the name, guys. That's why. Bam. We're going to put that in there just like that. The plastic, we don't need the plastic. What we actually need is we're going to make it to where you need wood and stone, like 3 wood and 2 crushed stone, something like that. All right, let's see. Let's control find wood. Okay, actually logs. Let's go with logs. Logs. Okay, yep, here we go. It's wood logs. We're going to go ahead and paste our survival campfire right there. Then we're going to grab this and copy that. Then we're going to go back to, which we're going backwards, we need to put that in drive right there. All right, so now we're going to replace this with wood logs. Okay. We're going to do, say, 3 wood logs. Then we're going to hit enter. Okay, now we're going to go find our stone. Okay. Let's go backwards. All right, crushed stone. So we're going to need some crushed stone. Okay, we're going to copy that. Then we're going to go back over here, go to our campfire, put this bad boy in drive. We're going to go back down here. And we're going to put that crushed stone right here, okay? Actually, let's go with, let's see, a normal fire you would need 6 logs and, say, 5 stone, okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and save this one so we don't forget. Then we're going to go back over here to our thing. We're going to comment this out right here. And if you remember the 3D model that we had earlier, well, we're going to go right over here. And we're going to grab that right there. We're going to bring that over to what we're working on now. So we're going to, the shape model entity, we're going to drop down. And then we're going to put this in right here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close this, get this out of our way. Then we're going to go right over here. And then we're going to add in our description. Emergency campfire. You know, I don't know if it's 1 word or 2 words. For survival. All right, we'll lowercase that. Okay. Now, place is free. Okay. Now, let's go back down here to this. So now we have the template done. So now we need to go over here to the item config. Okay. Here's our item config right here. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and copy this whole section right here. We're going to copy that. And then we're going to go down here toward the bottom, which we should have some stuff that we've done uh, in other episodes, which is going to be absolutely right here. So 1411. Let's see, 14. Actually, I think it's 1411. Yeah, that's our auto pistol that we added in. Okay. So let's go ahead and add in our campfire. This is going to be 1412. Okay, so 141412. That's the ID that we're going to give this. Okay. Now, survival constructor, we're going to name that. We're going to go back over here to this guy. Okay, we're going to copy that. We're going to go back over here to our item config. We're going to name that right there. Paste. All right. Now, does this have a information descriptor? No. Okay. Can hold. No. You're not going to hold a campfire. Okay. Mesh, block, terrain, constructor, file. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back over here to block config. We're going to grab this guy right here. We're going to go back over here to the mesh. We're going to comment that out, Shift 3. Then we're going to come back in and we're going to paste that. And then we're going to change this right here to mesh file colon. Just like that right there, okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and save that. We're going to save that. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back in. We're going to go under our class. Let's see. All right, this is going to be available. We're going to make those 0 because you should, if you're running around star hopping in spaceships, and we're going to put that in the tools section. But yeah, if you're running around the galaxy and you're star hopping at that point in life, you should absolutely know how to create a fire. I'm just throwing that out there. All right. Now let's see. We want to custom icon. We want to place our custom icon in here somewhere. Let's see, was that templates right here? No, it would not have been the templates. It would have been the let's go ahead and close this file. Would have been up here, most likely. Custom icon. So yep, that goes right up under the so we're going to grab this line. We're going to put it under our mesh file right here. Okay, we're going to paste that in there. We're going to backspace that a little bit. Then we're going to grab this little section right here. Tribal fire pit. Okay, we're going to copy that over here. Okay, and we're going to paste that in. We're going to go over here to our other right here. We're going to do the same thing. Okay, just like that. All right, now we're going to go ahead and save. we're going to go ahead and save that as well. Okay. Now, let's see. We need to go to our templates, and we need to search this right here, because we're going to take some stuff out of our suit constructor. Okay. Let's go backwards with it. Radar. Okay. All right, let's just do this. There we go. That'll give us more. All right, respirator charge. Let's change that to our survival constructor. Okay. All right, so let's go back into Drive. All right, radar suit tier 1, survival tent, that, antibiotic ointments. Let's take that out of there. Just like so. Bandages, yeah, we'll be able to do bandages. Let's see, protein. No, we don't need that. We don't need to be able to build that in our suit. Power bar. We'll leave that in our suit for right now. Hot beverage, so we can build it in our fire thing. We're going to take that out of our suit also. Energy drink, we're going to take that out of our suit. Vegetable juice, same thing. Okay, oxygen generator, yes. Mobile air conditioner. Campfire, yep. All right, let's see what else. All right, and that's it. So now we're going to go ahead and save that. So here's the thing. Folks, either this is going to work or it's going to crash like the 4th of July. So let's go ahead and jump in here and see what happens. Because I may have overlooked some little technical thing or whatever and all that stuff. No, we're going to find out. All right. So with any luck, we should be able to. No. It says no. Nope. Denied. All right. Not a problem. Let's go see what we got, what we did. And that'll give me a chance to shut Discord off because I forgot to shut it off to save bandwidth. All right. Survival campfire. Okay. Let's close this down. Let's look at what we got. Survival campfire. That absolutely is correct. Okay. That is in the items. Nope. That is in the template. Let's go into our items file. Okay, we need to go all the way down here. Okay. Let's make sure that we have that closed bracket. Okay, survival campfire. Okay, let's double check that number right there and make sure. All right, 1411. All right, that's the pistol. That's the child's. That's the closed bracket right there. That's the open bracket. All right. let's go ahead and grab this right here, just to make sure. Okay. Just to make sure our spacing is correct. All right, so that is, so we're going to make that 1412 again. Okay, we're going to save that. All right. Now let's go to our templates. Scenario default content configuration E-class. Really? On to table. All right. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, let's grab this guy. Okay, let's grab that. Copy. Let's go into here. Okay, let's do our thing. Campfire. Do. All right, now let's change this to what was our block config? Survival campfire. Okay. Yep, right there. All right, let's copy that over that. Block name is survival. All right, let's go up here. Entity name is survival constructor. Okay. Or survival campfire. All right, now let's try this again. Let's control save that. I didn't even catch that earlier, so let's see what that does for us. How about it? Yeah. All right, let's try it. It's either going to work or it's not, folks. All right, it is not working, so I've got something a little off. Okay. Let's go ahead and close. Well, we've already went through the templates. Template name, survival constructor, or survival campfire. Okay, let's try something real quick. Let's go with this real quick, and let's give it block ID 48. Let's see what that does. Okay, so make sure that we don't have multiple models. Let's go ahead and comment that out just in case that might be causing an issue. Let's go ahead and control save that. I do know that you don't want the same name of something. That much I do know, because it will absolutely confuse the game. Okay, and this might be the way we go about this. So let's see. Is it going to work or it's not? And we're going to find out. Okay, there we go. There we go. So let's run around and see what we got. All right, let's go to our survival. There we go, guys. So we need some logs and some crushed stone, okay? So, let's get rid of this. Okay, let's, God mode. And we're going to just run over here with our, survival tool. Get rid of those. I meant to trash them. Alright, let's turn our light on so we can see where we're going. Let's get our tool. Whoa, hello. We're going to need you here in just a second. Perfect. Alright, so, yep, we got some food. Okay, let's see. Which one of these trees gives us logs? Oh, there's logs right there. So we need 3 more. All right. Now let's go over here and grab some protein. All right, there's our stone. See if you can't hit the broadside of a barn. All right. So now, let's get our campfire going, guys. Oh, yeah. So there you are. That's how you go about reiterating from yesterday's stream on bringing something else into the game. And as you see, we use the design. Now, understand you can absolutely throw other stuff in this, quote, survival campfire. But be that as it may, you know, unless I work on it some more and find out other things, you know, it's basically a campfire. You know, use your imagination, you know, so we're going to let this bad boy build. And we're going to come up here. We're going to de-God mode. We're going to turn our light off. We're going to camp out under the stars. Where's our campfire? All right. Uh-oh. Let's go ahead and continue this. Okay, so there's something going on. Survival constructor. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's going on here. Excuse me. And that might be the ECF file. So what we're going to do, that might be over here in this little guy right here. Terrain, placeable, misdrop, prefab, terrain, class, survival constructor, terrain, place. Okay, block, campfire. This is for putting. So let's go ahead and comment this out right here real quick and see what that does for us. You know what I'm saying? Because this has to do with, I think, placing it in the world. So let's try that out. So much for our camping trip, guys. Come on. There you go. That's what I was looking for right there. No, that ain't gonna work. All right. That's all commented out. Let's go ahead and save that. And let's try that again. Okay. So with any luck, we should be able to load back into it, and we should be able to place it on the ground. So we're going to try that, folks. I'm going to get a sip of this coffee right here while Imperium sorts its life out. Tonight's coffee, I should say, because it's like 7 o'clock and it's dark out there. Ooh, spooky dark. Is actually cinnamon roll flavored. That's actually different. First times I've tried it. It's different. Tastes like a cinnamon roll. All right, let's pick this up. All right. Let's see. We needed stone. Let's go grab some more trees and stone. Because I'm not so sure. Let's get rid of that. Start all over again. Let's go grab us a stone. Let's just grab a couple of them in case we got to do this over again. Okay? And then we're going to try to camp back up under the stars. Have a beautiful, nice, cool evening under the stars. Make sure I ain't running into some booger bears that's going to get me. Be like that one episode. I think it was episode 8, 9. There's nothing in that water O2 condenser, so if there's nothing in it, it'll disappear off the map. Just to let you know. We can always build another one and throw down. But it was whenever I was showing off after I showed how to bring in oh, you know what? Let's all right, let's try this again. We need 5 more trees. Let's go over here and grab one of these. Okay, that way we can throw us a little campfire under the trees. That'd be cool. But anyhow, I was showing off the part of the mod where I showed and taught y'all how to bring in the hover vessel with the spawn point on it that we created in the previous stream, where you can bring in a marine squad of a couple of males and females. You know, that way we have males and females or whatever. And whenever I was throwing it down to show y'all during the live stream, I had spiders attack, raptors attack, then a drone flew ahead, and all of them was attacking me at the same time. I was running around screaming and running around and screaming. Did I mention I was running around and screaming? I sure did. I was. It happened. It's on camera. There's proof. It was a thing. But anyhow, but the Marine Squad absolutely performed phenomenally. It took them a few seconds to pull their heads out of their backsides, but they absolutely did come through on that one. So let's see if this thing will let us throw it down now. All right, let's go. All right, so there's that. All right, so we're going to have to figure out what's going on with this. And I'm willing to bet that has got something to do with Give me just a second. We're going to clean some files up real quick. Let's go back to our block config files. We're going to take all that out. Okay. We're going to go ahead and save that. We're going to take that out. Container. We're going to go ahead and take that out. Okay, template. Okay, item config. We're going to take that out. We're going to go ahead and, well, that's actually working like it's supposed to. Right there. Right there. That's where we went wrong, right there. So let's go back to our E class. Let's go ahead and comment this back in. Okay. See how we didn't give up? All right. that's where we went wrong. So this will actually work. All right. So there we go. All right, now we're going to grab this, copy it. We're going to go over here to right here. And we're going to select that, paste it. Okay. Now let's go back over here and let's just double check. Model type, terrain placeable, entity type, terrain placeable. Perfect. All right, now we should have no issues. Now let's make sure that our files are saved. Perfect. Now this should work out for us now, guys. Yeah, good stuff. Now that we've got everything where they need to be. And I actually just learned the whole ECF config file thingy tonight myself. I didn't know that's why we did the search like we did to find out anything in relation to that campfire so that we could make sure that we had those properly referenced. So that's why we always double check. All right, let's go ahead and shift click, pick you up. Let's get you out of our thing. All right, now we need wood. Let's go get some more wood. We're gonna salvage this camper trip, guys. We're absolutely gonna salvage this camper trip. What are you? I don't want to take away my trees, my fruit trees. All right, let's grab you because that gives us fruit. We need fruit to survive. All right, now let's try this again. I think they say third time's the charm. This is what, 100th? I'm being facetious. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of some of this weeds under our little camping spot right here. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? Now that what would be nice is a lounge chair. Just kick it on the dirt, set up against a tree right here. Bam! There you go. You're Gucci. Hurry up, campfire, before we run out of darkness. Yep, so just come up to the tree, lean up against the tree, just like so. Squat down. There you go. Take stuff out of your hands. There you go. Perfect. All right, let's see. Are we ready yet? Oh, almost. Did I mention I love camping? Yes, good stuff. Fun stuff. Now our little campfire is ready. It is still not ready. All right. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's see what it does when we throw it on the ground. All right. So we've absolutely pissed the game off. All right. So now, here's what we need to find out. What is the... We're quitting. Bear with us. Bear with us. So now we need to go back over here because this is probably what's going to give us problems right here. So let's go right here and let's copy that, find. We're going to find in files. We're going to go find our folder right there. Okay. Paste that, make sure that's in there, and then we're going to find all. Okay. All right, so it is only referenced in the thing. So now I've got a question. Let's make sure that we're commented like we need to be commented. Prefab. Drop container prefab. Make sure that we're spaced correctly. Make sure we have our close bracket. Okay. Item on pickup. Survival camp block. All right, let's go back over here to our blocks config. All right, let's go over here to this right over here. There we go, and we're going to find this right here. We're going to go over here to this. Okay, and we're going to find that. All right, class. Survival constructor. And we're going to compare these two files. Let's get this out of our way. We're going to compare these two files. We'll close that a little bit. Okay, survival campfire. Okay, class is portable constructor. Okay. Let's look through here. Okay. Place free, place terrain, decoration true. Can pick up true. XP factor, force, no PV damage. Colors. Category devices. It's colorable. Which that's I actually set the false. Oh yeah, that's right. We changed all that. I just hadn't showed you all that yet. All right, upgrade to supply, which we took that out. We took that out. Okay. Let's see. Let's look up. Control find. Food processor. Nope. Really? No food processor? Oh, I spelled processor wrong. It happens. All right, let's just take out processor because apparently I spelled that wrong too. All right, food processor right there. Food processor volume 2. Let's. Oh, let's see here. Let's try these right here real quick. Okay. It's right on the block end. Let's change that out. Actually, let's comment that out. Okay. Let's see if that right there. All right, now group will be right under. Let's do this. Shape will be under the market price. There we go. don't decay food, true. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, let's see what that does for us. We don't know until we try it out. All right, let's go ahead and move that back over here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and save that. Then we're going to go ahead and try this out again. One of two things is going to crash right off the bat or it's not. But either which way, we will absolutely figure this out. I might not figure it out tonight. But we will absolutely figure it out. I may figure it out tonight off camera. Don't know. We're going to figure it out, though, because I really want to bring that in for y'all. All right, let's go ahead and see if it'll let us continue anyway. All right. All right, let's go ahead and item menu this in. I am. All right. Let's stop this. Or not. All right, let's. Yep, that. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Survival campfire. Ahead to toolbar and press left. That is not what we put in the instructions. All right, well, I don't have time tonight to figure this out tonight, but hopefully I'll have some time between now and the next stream and figure it out between now and then. But yeah, that's definitely not what we had in the comment section right there. So there's something going wacky right there. And if you remember, I showed you how to open up your log files, which would be scenario, content, Imperium Galactic Survival, logs right here. It'll be the newest log first, which today's the 14th, and then it'll be this guy right here. Okay, and you'll see down here where everything starts wigging out right there. See how all that wigging out? That's repeating an error. So what you do is you go to the beginning of this. Okay, move that over that way some so you can see. Let's see, ID mod entity spawner 1 found in hover vessel. Okay. And then right here, null systems. This is our object right here, reference. Is not set to an instance of an object. That's where we need to start right here. Okay, that's our thing. So, not sure what the mesh not found line 412. Mesh not found. Okay. Line 412 is items. Yes, right here. Mesh file. So That might be the problem right there. Let's change that from mesh file to, what was it, model? Um, let's change this out real quick to this real quick and see what that does for us. Okay. We can give it that much time. So let's change this out to this. Okay. Yeah, let's try that and see if that works. And then if it doesn't work, then I'll come back in later on off camera or in the next live stream, because I really do have some other things to go do, like cook me some food because I'm like starving to death because I'm hungry. That kind of sort of stuff. Yeah, that stuff. I'm just saying. All right, so it's still going to show a problem. Okay. All right, so it's saying no. All right, let's quit then. Okay. Nope, quit. Nope. You wanted me to quit, so I quit. All right, so let's go ahead and open that back up and let's see what this bad boy says. It's 709. All right, and we can go ahead and close this one. Let's go back down here and let's see what it not allowed to assign a block ID 2048. Okay, well. All right, so apparently we can't name that block. So let's go, let's grab this right here, and we're just going to copy that real quick. Copy that. All right, let's go up here. Look at our free block IDs. Actually, you remember what we did last time? Do 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 do. Uh, this right here would resolve that error. Give me just a second. I got to get back down here to it. Control F, find. All right, there we go. All right, let's grab this. Okay, Control. This is going to fix that error right there. Okay. All right, close that. Save. All right, let's try this one more time. And then I really do got to go, guys, because I'm like nausea and all that. My blood sugar's dropping, so I got to go eat me something. Because if not, I'm going to waste away. Launching, synchronizing, interesting. All right, it did not like that one. Let's see if it will let us continue. I bet it's absolutely screaming in the background saying, no. ECF file, syntax error, name survival constructor. Okay, well, that's good to know. So let's go back to our ECF file. All right, so it is absolutely hung up right now. So we're going to have to crash close this like so. Come on. There you go. All right, that's going to be over here. It's going to be this little guy right here. Okay. So there's going to be something in here. It's probably right here and right here. We can close that because we don't need that. Item config, which we found this right here allows that to. Let's do one more thing. Let's do one more thing. Let's go ahead and comment this back out right here. Okay. Because it won't take just a few seconds, and then I really got to go, guys. All right, make sure everything's commented out. All right, let's grab this guy right here, and let's just save that. Go over here, and let's just place that right back right here. Okay, and then paste it. And then, like I said, we'll try this out one more time. But then I really do got to go because, like I said, I'm starting to get a little nauseous and woozy because I have low blood sugar anyhow. So I have to eat. If I don't eat, I get sickly. Come on, Steam, launch. And it launched over on my other monitor. And it does that for some stupid reason. So give me just a second. All right. So if you have dual monitors and your Steam decides to open it up on your other monitor, just go into your video settings, select window, drag it over here to your monitor that you want it on, and then just go ahead and set full screen again. And then it'll select this monitor. All right, let's try this one more time. And it absolutely says no. Okay, let's see. What do we got then? No, we saved all that. Remember? Yeah, we changed that. Oh, well, shucks. We ain't got email software installed. We do have software. Let's go back to our ECF file. All right. Survival constructor. We're just double checking. It's still coming up that one error. And we know we just fixed that. All right, let's look at our log file. Control O for that. All right, now. All right, let's go over here to ECF. Let's Control F, Control V, and let's find it. Okay, let's close that. So let's just do this. Let's just take that all the way out of there. Just like, nope. All right, let's just take that out. All right, now, there's absolutely no way that that should come back up there. Now, let's go over here. We can go ahead and close that one because we don't need that. Go over here to this one. Okay, entity, models, campfire, models, Wait a minute. The hell did we copy? That's probably what's messing us up. Right there, items config. Let's go over here to our blocks. That's probably what's messing us up right there. I just happened to look. I'll show you right here. Right there, it says BKI explosives. That can't be correct. So let's control, copy, and let's back up. Let's see if we can find another one. Why would it say explosives? That don't even make no sense, guys. That don't make no sense at all. All right, let's do this. And let's see what we can find. Yeah, that don't. Yeah, why would it be in an explosive device? That don't make no sense. All right, well, let's do this. Let's grab this. It's in the items. I'm trying to go. I really am. Let's back this up. That is weird. They're associating that with explosives. Wow, that's weird. And then the model you'd absolutely need. All right, let's try it one more time. That's weird. It's associating it with the explosives like the C4, which you should remember the C4 explosives. Which that's very interesting. All right, so we're not even going to try. We're just pulling the log files. What we're doing if it crashes to look. That's Control-0, Control-O. All right, we can go ahead and close that log file. Let's find that in all open documents. All right, well, guys, I really do got to go. I'll try to figure this out later. But I do got to go because I got to go eat. I'm starving. But hopefully, I'll either figure it out between now and the next live stream, or I'll figure it out in the next stream. But guys, as always, happy gaming, and we'll catch you in the next stream.